Good morning everybody, welcome to my channel Kiss Keto by Keto Kath. I'm Kath and this channel is all about my weight loss journey to lose 56 pounds following a ketogenic lifestyle. I started the diet on the 27th of June and I managed to lose 50 pounds between then and Christmas, and then everything went wrong at Christmas. I fell off the wagon and I've gained some weight back. January, February, March, I found it so difficult to get back into ketosis and get back on a strict diet. So I just want to talk about, I call this video today Finding Your Own Path and How to Keto, because as I've said many times in the past, and if you watch some of my past videos, keto's a self-learning journey. You learn so much about yourself, but also the direction that is right for you. So what happens when you start off keto is you start looking at other people's videos, other people's channels, getting as much information together as you want or as you can do, and then you start having a go. So if somebody might do something, you think, oh, I'll try that, and then somebody else, like for example, I watch Keto Rewind doing alternate day fasting, oh, I'll try that, and you sort of going in all these different directions, to try and find what works for you. If you want to watch some really good channels, I highly recommend Keto in the Chaos. I think there's more information on that channel than there is on any other channel. But if you want to follow other people's journeys as well, Keto Rewind, she's had a mammoth journey. Fat Keto, I love watching her, and Princess Ninja and Keto. Some good channels and just daily blogs about the ketogenic lifestyle. But Keto in the Case for me has got the most information for anybody starting off and some really good basic guidelines. So that's what I've done. I've watched loads of channels, I continue to watch them, and I find them very inspiring. And I find the fact that you go to somewhere like Weight Watchers and there's a group of people with shared journeys. It's a bit like that when you're watching people's channels on YouTube, but you sort of, oh, I'll try that and I'll try this, and you've really got to find what works for you. So I spent 6 months from June to Christmas doing really strict keto, and then at Christmas I came off the wagon and the cravings just took over. And what's difficult is once you get back to carbs, it's breaking that cycle, because when you're eating carbs you are never satisfied. You're always, oh, I just fancy this, oh, I'll just have a nibble of this, and it's a constant nibbling thing, and it's an emotional, cravings are real, really real, and a very hard thing to overcome. Now I'm back on keto, and I've been keto now for a few weeks and I've been really well. Those cravings have just gone. Now I haven't had any real strong emotional ups and downs, and I know when I get emotional, when something happens that affects my emotions, that's where I usually reach for carbs. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to deal with that, and when that crops up I'll let you know. But the cravings have completely gone. Now I'm back on keto. So it's a never-ending revolving journey, and you've got to find your own way. You've got to find what works for you. So you try all these different things, but you've got to try and get together and work. There is no manual. If you join, in the UK we have Slimming World. If you joined Weight Watchers, you get your little bag and you get your manual. It tells you what to eat and how to track things. There is no manual for keto, so you've got to build your own. You've got to find and try different things and find your own way. I've done intermittent fasting, which I find works really well for me. I am not hungry now till later in the day, so that works quite well for me. I've tried alternate day fasting. That didn't work for me. I found I could not control the quantities of food to eat on the days that I was eating, because I was so hungry, having not eaten the day before. Some people it works out really well for, but it's not for me. So there is no manual. You have to find your own way. It's the reality. Try it all and find out what works for you. So for me, what I found is I'm quite happy going till the afternoon, till early afternoon, or even mid-afternoon. I don't need any food. I have my coffee in the morning. I have collagen in it. I've just started putting just half a teaspoon. I don't want to put a lot of fat in the coffee because I want to burn my own fat, but I have found coffee tanks my ketones. It makes them drop. So I just put half a teaspoon of fat in to try and compensate for that. I have that in the morning. I have it between greens when I have a break at lunchtime, midday, another cup of coffee, and then when I do finish mid-afternoon, I'm ready then for something to eat. That works for me. So I either have 1 or 2 meals a day. When I'm really busy, it can be 1 meal a day, but I'm trying to eat twice a day because that works. I feel it works better for me. I feel like the more I eat, the easier the weight loss is actually. And really, it's stage 1 of End Your Carb Confusion. That is what I'm doing, phase 1 of Eric Westman and Amy Berger's End Your Carb Confusion book, which I'll just go and get. So this book, End Your Carb Confusion, I'm doing phase 1, and I'm not doing it on like just because of the book. I just find that that's the natural rhythm that I've fallen into. So if you do want a manual, you do want some help just starting off, this is what I would recommend. It's got all the information that you need. And the thing is, I'm just allowing myself a little bit of flexibility. So if I want something and I feel like I want a snack, and rather than go and have something I shouldn't, I might have some pork scratchings and I might dip them in a little bit of sour cream. That's not on phase 1, but it works for me. So I'm trying to find my own way. I'm trying to find what works for me and what keeps me on track. And you've got to do the same thing. So what I decided this week was to start being accountable. I keep saying I put weight on. I didn't want to weigh myself. And I thought, you know, I'm doing really well now on the keto diet. I'm back into the swing of things. I really need to be accountable to face up to how much weight I've gained in like just over 3 months. Well, it's probably nearly 4 from mid-December to early April. So I got on the scales and I put my weigh in here. So as you can see, I have had a massive weight gain, and I know because I can feel it. It's on my stomach and the bloat, and I've also been feeling my knuckles and a little bit of inflammation, which are totally gone. But what I will say is, on Monday morning was the actual day that I first weighed in, and I weighed 12 stone 12. So since Monday, and being really strict and doing the phase 1, I've lost 4 pounds. I am going to the toilet a lot, but it's great. But I do feel a little bit less inflammation. I feel like my face looks a little bit better today as well. And I think the reason I've gained so much in such a short time, because I didn't gain that much January, February. I was just over 11 stone, so I've gained just under a stone. But lately, I think it's just a case of I've gone towards more and more carbs, snacking on carbs, and it's the sugar. And my body's been through a famine. You know, I've cut back as much as possible between June and December till I had nowhere else to go. And when I've started eating, it's just held on to everything. So it's all learning, and although I'm disappointed in myself for gaining so much, and it's about 30 pounds, it's all a learning journey. I've learned so much about when, you know, I decide to snack or come off plan. I've got to plan it in. I've got to allow all week that if I want a day, say my birthday, if I want a day where I have a piece of cake, maybe that it's keto cake, but something extra above what I would normally eat, that I need to plan it in and plan the week around it so that I can have that treat and get straight back on track. So I'm learning, and I've learned, like, come next winter, which is the winter mood is what did it for me. You know, the dark nights, the wet weather, the cold weather, you know, not being able to get out on the bike because it was too windy and too wet, that I need to be really prepared next year for the winter and not let me throw me off track. So I'm really upset with myself for gaining that weight, but at the same time, I've learned a lot from it. I've learned, you know, that you can never be off your diet. And it's not a diet. It's the wrong thing to say. It is a lifestyle, and what you've got to do is learn to accommodate these things into your lifestyle so that you can keep staying on track. So yes, I'm disappointed in myself, but this is a reality, and I want to get back to weekly weigh-ins so that you can see how I'm doing. So my body's gone through this famine, and now it's just held on to everything because I've been having a feast, and now it's time to get back to reality. What I'm hoping is, because I've been eating more, is that my metabolic rate is slightly higher and that I can lose weight on a good amount of calories. I haven't checked this week, and I should have tracked. I have not tracked anything. I've just stuck to phase 1, and basically what it says in that book is if you stick to phase 1, you don't need to track. You eat these foods and you will lose weight. It's a one-size-fits-all formula on phase 1. But I do want to track next week. I want to get back to tracking. I do think tracking is important, because I think if you do want to allow for a treat, if it's your birthday or a family occasion, you've got to be able to encompass that into your weekly calorie allowance and then compensate for it in the week. So, and also it's important for when you get to your goal, so you know how to increase and how much to increase your food by to try and maintain. So I just find I've been so busy. With lockdown's been lifted and I've not groomed dogs. I've got a good customer base who are very regular, rebook with me every time. And since December, the dogs haven't been groomed. So, you know, we're into April, so they've missed nearly 4 grooms, 2 or 3. And so the dogs are coming in. If I get a chance, I'll put a picture in an absolute mess. And I've got to sort them out. So I've just been run off my feet. So that's why I've not tracked it. I've just been too busy. But I did manage to fit in 3 bike rides this week, and I'll put a video at the end of one of the longer ones, the extended one. But 3 bike miles, I've done 34.99 miles. I've just done a little bit more, would have made 35 miles. But that's going from nothing to 35 miles. You know, I hadn't lost all the fitness from last year, although my legs are really aching after getting back into it. I'm so pleased that I've been able to get out. The sun's been shining all week and it really lifted my mood, and got out and I've done 3 bike rides, so I want to keep that up now. Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays out on the bike, weather permitting. So my goal for next week is to keep the cycling up, but it's to track next week, to be accountable. I will try and record my meals, try and do all my tracking, and weigh in next week and weigh in every single week so you can see now how I progress. Obviously, I want to get this weight back off and get down to a new low, but that's going to take me time. But it's a lifelong thing, this diet. It's not just a quick fix and then off you go, which is sort of what I've done over Christmas. And now understand that no matter what I'm doing, I've got to factor it in to the lifestyle and make allowances and make it fit, but keep being keto. So it's all about finding your own way and what works for you and what suits your lifestyle. So check in with me next week to see how I've gone on. I really am into the swing of things now, and I'm feeling so positive. I love this feeling when you're on keto or being in ketosis. It's absolutely fabulous. And I just put a quick picture in, a quick video of my epic bike ride on Saturday. See you next week. Bye.